Day one of the 2019 Little League World Series Eastern Regional on Saturday here in Bristol was filled with big hits, sharp defense, excellent pitching, and lots of fun. New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut put themselves into the winner's bracket. The excitement, it continues, all with an eye towards Portland, Oregon. We're here in Bristol, Connecticut, where yesterday on day one, while New Jersey was beating Rhode Island, Pennsylvania actually had an opportunity to go to the ESPN studios for a tour. They match up here this morning. It's day two of the Bristol Eastern Regional, and it starts right now. And we get things started with the state champs from Pennsylvania. They are from South Williamsport. They're the Southside All-Stars. Meanwhile, the state champs from New Jersey, a powerhouse from Robbinsville, the Robbinsville Renegades. They are 1-0 and one of the favorites to represent the Eastern Regional as we advance to Portland. Here are the 10 teams who began competition yesterday. Lots to happen between now and Thursday when one of these teams will be crowned the champion and advance to represent the regional at the World Series. At a glance, the Little League Softball World Series is a division of Little League International for girls ages 10 through 12. We play 6-inning games on a 60-foot diamond, 40-foot pitching distance, and there is a minimum mandatory play rule that impacts all substitutions to make sure every girl gets to compete in every single game. As mentioned, New Jersey put on a show yesterday, beating Rhode Island 8-2 in the first game. And they had a number of hitting stars. Sorella Gallucci went 4 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. Caroline Walls 2 for 4. She scored twice. And the pitching of Katie Ziliani was outstanding. She pitched a complete game 5-hitter. It was an impressive performance from beginning to end for manager Scott Weiss and his entire crew. Can they put together back-to-back impressive games? Can Pennsylvania win its opening game? First pitch here in Bristol coming up next. It's another steamy morning at the A. Bartlett Giamatti Little League Leadership Training Center in Bristol, Connecticut. First of our 4 day 2 games. And here's a look at the Pennsylvania roster, beginning with Micaiah Hills, an 11-year-old catcher and outfielder playing for Corey Goodman. Corey's got his daughter Gianna on the roster. No surprise there. Quite often the managers and coaches are the parents of some of the players. And Pennsylvania is looking to get its first game underway, but having to face a very tough New Jersey squad. And that begins with a young lady who yesterday was the hitting star for New Jersey. Today she moves into the circle to see what she can do. Sorella Gallucci is a 13-year-old. She's the daughter of Jason and Angelique Gallucci. She is a talented player all the way around. And so while she pitches this game, Katie Ziliani, who was so good pitching yesterday for New Jersey, they swap positions. Katie Ziliani plays third base, and Gallucci will pitch. And we are just about underway with Elizabeth Schuler leading things off for Pennsylvania. It'll be Schuler, Lily Reedy, and Sage Lorson to get things started for the girls from South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Little dribbler in front of the plate. Abby Weiss, the catcher, and Gallucci had a little miscommunication there. And it's an infield single to begin things for Schuler. I think this would have been the catcher's ball because her momentum would have carried her towards first base, but Gallucci, being aggressive, wanted it as well. Neither could make the play. So that'll bring up the catcher, Lily Reedy. Apparently Lily Reedy goes by Reedy to make sure that she's not confused with any other Lilies on the roster. 12-year-old daughter of Aaron and Ashley Reedy. And she, like so many of the girls here in Bristol, are fans of the sport of softball and watch it at the highest levels. especially the college game. And with UCLA being the reigning national champs, Lily Reedy is one of the many Bruins fans who we've encountered here this week. But being from Pennsylvania, she watches the pro sports as well. Runner takes off from first, sliding into second. And Schuler is safe with a stolen base. Just under the tag. And just like that, with nobody out, a runner in scoring position for Pennsylvania. Good changeup. Reedy out in front, and the count evens 2-2. Well, you will hear the energy from both dugouts all day and all night long. The fun these girls have just puts a smile on your face. Reedy has a good eye, and the count goes full. Popped up, shallow right center. And the second baseman, Caroline Walls, makes the catch in spite of a little nudge from behind by the right fielder, Jordan Pepper. So one away. Around the infield, Katie Ziliani at third, Haley Krebs at short, Caroline Walls plays second, and Madison Manning is the first baseman. Behind the plate, the manager's daughter, Abby Weiss. And left to right in the outfield, Julissa Alvarado, Liliandi, and Jordan Pepper. Ground ball by the pitcher. Walls with another opportunity. Runner advances. Well, among the aspects of what New Jersey showed us in their win yesterday over Rhode Island was this is a good defensive team as well. They are very tight on the infield especially, and we have seen that up the middle with Krebs at shortstop and Walls at second base. Now the cleanup hitter, Kendall Cardone. Swing and a miss. Fouled out of play. Well, when asked who her role model is or role models are, Kendall replied, "It's my dad for softball and my mom for everything else." And I'm guessing that Megan and Brian Cardone would get a kick out of that response. Their daughter takes the pitch down low. The count is 1-2. Cardone pops it up. And the pitcher comes into foul ground. Gallucci with the catch. She takes care of it herself. No runs, a leadoff single, and a runner stranded at third base. We're underway, day 2 here in Bristol. Back in Bristol, Connecticut at the Giamatti Little League Leadership Training Center. Head to the bottom half of the first inning, and here's a look at the New Jersey roster. The girls from Robbinsville can score some runs. They put up 8 on the board in their win yesterday against Rhode Island. Walls, Gallucci, Weiss, Ziliani, Krebs among the standouts on that roster, but it is deep and it is talented for this program that is built on bedrock. And the person who has to deal with that is the leadoff hitter and number 12 in blue, Elizabeth Schuler, 12-year-old whose favorite athlete is her older sister, 17-year-old Lexi Schuler, who herself is a rising senior pitching ace at Jersey Shore High School in Pennsylvania. Elizabeth uses a fastball, a rise ball, a drop ball, and a change. And she is in tune with her dad, Chris, who is one of the coaches on the Pennsylvania staff. And Chris from the dugout will be calling the pitches for his daughter. And she'll be facing Caroline Walls, Haley Krebs, Sorella Gallucci to begin the bottom half of the first inning. And down to the third base coach's box for New Jersey, Scott Weiss, the longtime manager for this Jersey team. 15-year Little League volunteer. The last 8 is the vice president of softball in Robbinsville. And during that 15-year tenure, this program has been to the Little League World Series 5 times. Ball dropped by Schuler, and then she can't make the play. It goes as a hit. Tough chance coming out of the circle there. So just like the top half of the first inning, the leadoff hitter is aboard. Just didn't stick in the leather, and no chance to recover.
The shortstop, number 17, Haley Krebs.
So here is Haley Krebs, the slick fielding shortstop. Huge Mets fan, the entire family is. That bunt is foul. One of Haley's favorite Mets, Pete Alonso, what a surprise yesterday with another big home run, the home run derby champion this year. Although she says, as you see, Amed Rosario, another Met, is her favorite baseball player, but she likes Jacob deGrom and pretty much everybody. You saw Krebs try to bunt on the first pitch, no sign of it on the second. This is a New Jersey team that also is capable of playing small ball, and so the third baseman, Lynna Clark, in close. She bunts away from that, but it's foul on the first base side. Around the infield for Pennsylvania, Lynna Clark at third, Sage Lorson at short. Her cousin, Abby Lorson, plays first, and then the manager's daughter, Gianna Goodman, plays second base. Kendall Cardone, Lacey Kriebel, and Liliana Cox are the outfielders left to right. And Lily Reedy is the catcher for these girls from South Williamsport. Boy, she was on that pitch. Just pulled it foul, and the count remains 1-2. Now, Robbinsville has been to the Little League World Series in 2008, 2010, 2013, 2014, and 2016. They won it all 5 years ago. On that team was actually Mark Walsh, who served as manager. Scott Weiss, the current manager, was a coach on that team. And that gentleman has done a fabulous job of continuing the legacy of this program. And you see that in all sports, at all levels, at all ages, that if you have a support staff, a coaching staff, if you succeed and can have some continuity there, you can build on it. So these girls have known nothing other than Robbinsville softball being a big deal and wanting to be a part of it. Krebs slow roller to first, and the out recorded by Lorson. Abby Lorson makes the play herself. Down to second goes Caroline Walls. And so here is Sorella Gallucci, who has yet to be retired here in Bristol this week. A perfect 4 for 4 yesterday. Her favorite baseball player of all time, as you saw, Derek Jeter did that more than once. Among the all-time major league leaders in base hits with well over 3,000. Line drive, base hit towards the gap in left center. Walls will come in to score, and New Jersey is on the board first. Down to second, the throw, not in time. Well, I've got my early favorite for most outstanding player here in Bristol, Sorella Gallucci. Now 5 for 5 with 3 RBIs through her first 5 plate appearances. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Julissa Alvarado. She may have the most pure power in this New Jersey lineup. Line drive toward the shortstop, who gloves it. Sage Lorson then checks the runner back to second. And there are 2 away.
The third baseman, number 15, Katie Ziliani.
And now Katie Ziliani stands in. She's a 13-year-old at Pond Road Middle School. Has an older brother, Anthony, who's 15. Takes the changeup down low for ball one. Line shot, gets through the hole, and they're going to try to score the base runner. Gallucci beats the throw. Another RBI single, this time Ziliani in the act, and it's 2-0 New Jersey. This is one line drive after another, and they are pulling them. Gallucci, Alvarado, and Ziliani consecutively have hit line drives toward the shortstop. 2 have gone through for base hits, and the other Alvarado hit right at the shortstop and was caught. Now a lefty batter, Jordan Pepper, right fielder for this New Jersey All-Star team. Our umpires for this first game of day 2, Keith Ludwig calling balls and strikes. He says strike 2, and around the diamond, Dave Mancari, he is our first base umpire. Joseph Ungrady at second, and Roy Margid is at third. Pepper got a piece, but it was held onto by Lily Reedy, the catcher, for a strikeout. First punch out of the game recorded by Elizabeth Schuler. 2-0 after 1. Well, here's how you get to the Little League World Series. Got to go through districts, sections, state, province, or country. Then here in the regional tournament, and then on to Portland, Oregon, where the Little League Softball World Series will be held at Alpenrose Stadium next month. And the ride for the South Williamsport All-Star team through the states was not necessarily an easy one. Corey Goodman's club, in its opening game at States, found itself trailing 7-1 after 1.5 innings. So being down 2-0 here is no big deal. And he felt like probably nerves played a role in that. Foul ball by Lynna Clark falls untouched. And so Pennsylvania was down 7-1 after 1.5 innings in their opening game at States, trailed by 3 runs heading into the bottom of the 6th, but then the 8-9 hitters got on, sparked a rally to win it on Kendall Cardone's walk-off RBI double to left center. It was a shot, and that momentum propelled South Williamsport and that gentleman's team to reach Bristol, Connecticut. And he's a Williamsport native, and he said all these girls, all they know, as you would imagine, is Little League baseball and Little League softball. And they have all gone annually to go watch the Baseball World Series in Williamsport. Corey Goodman dates all the way back to the late 80s. When he was a kid, his first memory of going to Williamsport for the World Series was to see the Trumbull, Connecticut team. He remembers Chris Drury. You might not remember, though, also in that field that year in 1989, Kevin Cash played for the Florida State champs. And yes, that's the Kevin Cash who played in the big leagues for the Yankees and the Rays and is currently the manager at Tampa Bay. Nice catch and foul ground by Katie Ziliani, and Clark is retired for the first out. Showing good range. Ziliani gets a pretty good jump, avoids the base, and makes a tough over-the-shoulder catch. And now Lacey Kriebel. She hits a sharp liner off the screen foul. And you may notice Lacey is one of the taller players we'll see this week. She's 5'7", still just 12 years old. And she comes by her height naturally. Another pop-up foul ground, another chance for Ziliani. And she's unable to make the catch. Great effort, though, up against the wall. She seems to be okay. Having a good laugh with her shortstop, Haley Krebs.
Battle here, battle. Let's go.
Lots of smiles here this week in Bristol. I mentioned how tall Kribel is. Her dad is 6'8". I should say Kribel, excuse me. Her dad is 6'8". And he was a college basketball star. Dean scored over 1,500 points at Division II Lock Haven University. And Amy Kribel also was a star athlete in college as well. She stands at least 6 feet tall. Their daughter takes strike 3 for out number 2. Good pitch by Sorella Gallucci, and she got the call. First strikeout recorded by Gallucci. Abby Lorson pops up the first pitch. Tough chance, hit the foot of the catcher. That makes it a fair ball. And it's an infield single with 2 outs for Abby Lorson. Second hit of the morning for Pennsylvania, and that'll bring up the manager's daughter, Gianna Goodman.
The second baseman, number 8, Gianna Goodman.
And Gianna loves leading the cheers, although she can't cheer while she's in the box course. She's focused. She's the only child of Katie and Corey Goodman. And Gianna loves her dog, Oakley. Oakley's a golden retriever who, when the family's away, usually gets watched by the brother-in-law, Adam. And Corey Goodman wanted to say thank you to Adam for taking such good care of Oakley while Gianna and company are away. Pop up, back of second. Nice catch despite the contact by Caroline Walls. So New Jersey gets out of it, allows a 2-out infield single. But Pennsylvania remains scoreless here in Bristol. Well, one of the big stories here in Connecticut and around much of the country this week is the heat and humidity. We've got a potential for some rain around today. We had one brief rain delay yesterday, but by and large, everybody was able to play straight through. But temperatures soaring up into the 90s once again this afternoon. So far, the sun has not popped out this morning, so that has actually helped to keep it quite manageable. And I tell you what, for New Jersey, luck of the draw. You never know with the weather, just like in a golf tournament. At the Open Championship this week, you're either lucky or you're not as weather comes and goes. I tell you what, New Jersey has been fortunate to be able to be on the early side of the bracket so far, playing yesterday at 10 a.m. and again today at 10 a.m. before temperatures really start to spike. So they are well positioned here and on top 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It's the bottom third of the lineup, led by the manager's daughter, Abby Weiss. Weiss, Liliandi, and Madison Manning. First pitch swinging, ball knocked down by Schuler, and she's able to record the out. Well, we'll see how the pitcher, Elizabeth Schuler, settles into this second inning after she was hit fairly hard in the first inning. Nice job to field her position and get this first out. And now Liliandi, the youngest of Kathy and Chris Ondi's 3 kids. First pitch swinging as well. Lynna Clark from third base makes the play. Quickly 2 away.
For New Jersey, the first baseman, number 23, Madison Manning.
And now the number 9 hitter, Madison Manning, who plays both first base and outfield. She's a 13-year-old at Pond Road Middle School, the daughter of Daniel and Kimberly, and she goes after the first pitch, and that's 3 straight groundouts, 2 fielded beautifully by Lynna Clark. Can't do much better than that if you're Elizabeth Schuler. 2-zip after 2. To catch the excitement of the Little League World Series softball tournaments or to find a Little League softball program in your neighborhood, visit littleleaguesoftball.org. There's some of the folks who made the trip, about a 5-hour drive from South Williamsport, Pennsylvania here to Bristol, Connecticut. The family members and fans from Robbinsville, New Jersey. Not quite as far a drive. But both of these sides are hoping that over the next couple of weeks they're figuring out a way to fly out to Portland, Oregon.
Number 50, Liliana Cox.
It'll be 9-1-2 to begin the top of the third inning for Pennsylvania. And this is Liliana Cox, 13-year-old from Cogan Station. Liliana is highly competitive and, according to her coaches, has a very high softball IQ. Out in front of that changeup from Gallucci, and the count is 0-2. Liliana, like so many of these girls, has attended Rommelt Elementary. Good eye there. Foul ball. Count holds 1-2. Well, we saw that Liliana roots for Jenny Finch. Her favorite actor, Robert Downey Jr. Favorite movie, Mulan. She loves The Flash. And, of course, the Philadelphia Phillies and their new slugger, Bryce Harper. Good eye, and the count goes full, 3-2. Fly ball, deep left field. Alvarado gives ground, and she makes the catch. Liliana Cox is robbed of extra bases by Julissa Alvarado. That is the hardest hit ball so far this morning off of Sorella Gallucci. First time through the order. And back to the leadoff hitter, Elizabeth Schuler. She reached on an infield single to begin the ball game. And she stole second, wound up being stranded at third. Sharply hit again. Nice backhand stop by Ziliani. That was as much to protect her ankle as much as anything. That was a bullet off the bat of Schuler. And quickly there are two away.
Number 7, Lily Reedy.
And now Lily Reedy. Well, I mentioned Gianna Goodman's dog Oakley, who she loves and misses while she's away. A lot of these girls have favorite pets who they miss when they're on the road, including the young lady in the batter's box. Lily's dog Remy would be inspired by that shot to right center field. Perhaps Remy is home watching on ESPN Plus. You never know. 2-out single. That'll bring up the dangerous Sage Lorson. Well, after the first time through the lineup, not really having anything hit too hard off of Sorella Gallucci. That is 3 straight well-hit balls here in the top of the third. Lorson with a deep drive. And Alvarado won't get that one. Reedy rounds third. She's going to score on the RBI double by Sage Lorson. Pennsylvania has announced its arrival in this tournament. And the folks from South Williamsport are pumped. That was a shot by the power-hitting shortstop for Southside. And now the cleanup hitter, Kendall Cardone. Another drive deep to left field. And again that goes over the left fielder's head. In comes Lorson. And we're tied at 2. back-to-back booming RBI doubles. The first by Sage Lorson, the second here by Kendall Cardone. My goodness. And now time is called. And New Jersey manager Scott Weiss heads out to the circle to have a conversation with his young pitcher. Boy, Gallucci was so good through the first 2 innings, and something has changed here in the third. Whether she's not hitting her spots or just Pennsylvania's made adjustments, there is a clear difference in how hard the softballs are being hit.
Number 23, Lynna Clark.
And now the third baseman, Lynna Clark, with a chance to give Pennsylvania the lead. Lynna Clark popped out in her first at-bat. And the coaches say she's a workaholic. If she had her way, they would not only have 2-a-day practices, they would practice 3 times a day. She just loves the game, has a high motor, and a real passion for it. And she's ahead in the count, 3-0. The 11-year-old takes a strike. Looks like she might have been taking all the way. Lynna's about to turn 12. She'll have a birthday on September 25th. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. Weiss can't find it. Now she does. Kendall Cardone able to advance on the wild pitch. So now the potential go-ahead run stands at third. There's a shot, and it falls down. Lynna Clark with the third consecutive RBI double by Pennsylvania to take the lead 3-2. And none of these have been cheapies by any stretch of the imagination. Lorson, Cardone, and Clark in succession with deep shots to left field. Let's see if Lacey Kriebel can follow suit. This one to shallow left, but it falls foul.
Now batting, Pennsylvania, number 32, Lacey Kriebel.
Little out in front of that one, and now Lacey's behind in the count, 0-2. Well, Lacey's parents, Amy and Dean, can't typically attend her games while they're caring for her brother Andrew's special needs. He's an 18-year-old. Andrew serves as his younger sister's inspiration. Lacey does everything on the softball diamond with her brother in mind. And she says if she won the lottery, she would hire extra nurses so that her mom and dad would get more of a break. And we understand that mom and dad were able to get a break and get the proper health care for their son Andrew back home in Pennsylvania, and did make the trip here to Connecticut this week. But I just thought that was a lovely sentiment for this young girl to be so thoughtful of her brother and her parents. I mentioned her parents both played basketball at Division II Lock Haven. Her dad actually played professional basketball after having a tryout with the Philadelphia 76ers. And Lacey plays both sports. She loves basketball as well, like her mom and dad, but she also loves and is very good at softball. Very good center fielder for this South Williamsport team. Says she'd love to play in the WNBA. She hits it on the ground to Krebs at short. And that retires the side, but a lot of damage done by South Williamsport. Back-to-back-to-back RBI doubles, and they take a 3-2 lead. With a 3 spot in the top half of the third inning, Pennsylvania takes its first lead in its first game here in Bristol. By luck of the draw, Pennsylvania and Delaware were not scheduled to play yesterday. Only 8 of the 10 teams in this field played games on Saturday, and so Pennsylvania spent part of yesterday touring the ESPN studios on the other side of town, and they've gotten down to business with a big power display in the top of the third. Back-to-back-to-back RBI doubles, Sage Lorson, Kendall Cardone, and Lynna Clark put New Jersey on its heels for the first time this week. New Jersey was so impressive in beating Rhode Island yesterday, and let's see what kind of response they have against Elizabeth Schuler here in the bottom of the third. It's the top of the order. Walls, Krebs, and Gallucci scheduled up. Walls singled and scored a run to begin the first inning. Ball pulled foul.
For New Jersey, number 1, Caroline Walls.
As we mentioned yesterday, Caroline Walls says her special talent is that she can drink any size chocolate milkshake in 1 minute. In this weather, I can believe you can drink a milkshake fast. You know what? I went to Friendly's after my games yesterday and got myself a small chocolate milkshake and probably drank it in about a minute. But if it was a large, there's no way I could get that down. I can't believe a large milkshake that young girl can drink in a minute, but she says she can. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Walls strikes out. Ball thrown down to first to complete the play. Nice job by the catcher Lily Reedy to make sure the out was recorded. Second strikeout for Elizabeth Schuler.
Number 17, Haley Krebs.
And here is Haley Krebs. Good thing there's a wall in front of that dugout on the third base side. Haley Krebs is wearing it out. Got herself a 1-1 count. Beautiful facility that is home to the regionals, both for softball and baseball every single year. We'll be back with our ESPN cameras in a couple of weeks for the baseball. There's a base hit to left. A 1-out base runner. It's Haley Krebs. And that'll bring up the hottest hitter so far here this weekend.
Number 4,
Sorella Gallucci. She has not been cheated. A perfect 4 for 4 hitting yesterday against Rhode Island, and she hit a RBI single that was scorched in the first inning. And she looks at a strike. The catcher Reedy runs out to chase the base runner Krebs back to first. Miss Gallucci says her favorite TV show, Grey's Anatomy. Pop up to shallow left center, and a nice catch by the shortstop Sage Lorson. That was not easy. And with the power that Gallucci has, the outfielders were perhaps playing back a little farther than they would for most other hitters. That meant it was all the shortstops playing. And Sage did a nice job.
Number 22, Lisa Alvarado.
So with 2 outs, Jaleesa Alvarado, who lined out the shortstop her first time. Sharply hit, fielded cleanly by Clark. And it's another quick inning for Elizabeth Schuler, who has settled down nicely. Pennsylvania leads by a run. 3-2 our scores. We head to the top of the fourth inning. Pennsylvania leading New Jersey. And if you're wondering, Robbinsville, New Jersey is a suburban central New Jersey town of about 15,000, not too far from Trenton, the state capital. And from T-ball up through the high school varsity team, softball is a very, very big deal in Robbinsville. Right now they are trailing 3-2 to the girls from South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, who scored their 3 runs last time up.
Leading off, Pennsylvania, number 13.
And it'll be the bottom third of the lineup. We've got our first pinch hitter, Chelsea Harrison, batting for Abby Lorson. Chelsea's a 12-year-old who puts a charge into that one. Boy, it's been a busy morning already out in left field for Jaleesa Alvarado.
Number 2, Micaiah Hills.
And now another pinch hitter, Micaiah Hills, an 11-year-old outfielder and catcher. Hills will bat for Gianna Goodman. Her bunt is fouled back on the screen. Not surprising, Micaiah is a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I guess when you're from Williamsport, you either usually root for the Pirates or the Phillies. Much like in this part of the country here in Connecticut, you're kind of halfway in between. Do you root for the Red Sox or do you root for the Yankees or Mets? And you know what? These New Jersey girls in a similar situation right there in central New Jersey. Do you root for the Phillies or do you root for one of the New York teams? Off the end of the bat. Ball caught by Gallucci for out number 2. And now we get number 99, Emily Holtzapfel. So 3 straight pinch hitters here in the top of the fourth inning. And she hits the ball. First pitch right to Ziliani at third. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Sorella Gallucci. 3-2 Pennsylvania, up a run. Doug Sherman back with you here in Bristol, Connecticut. Pennsylvania leading 3-2 over New Jersey. Pennsylvania playing its first game of this regional today. After getting yesterday off, New Jersey looking to stay undefeated after knocking off Rhode Island yesterday morning, but they're having to play from behind. As I mentioned earlier, Pennsylvania has experience coming from behind, which they've done so far in this game. They had a huge rally in their state tournament opener. And I wonder if their manager, Corey Goodman, would again attribute falling behind early here today to nerves. Like he said, they had a little bit of nerves in the state tournament. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Big spotlight here in front of the ESPN cameras. That ball is laced to left field, and the left fielder, Emily Holtzapfel, could not make the play. Katie Ziliani leads off with a double. Her second hit of the morning. Holtzapfel just into the game for Kendall Cardone. She pinch hit for her in the top half of the inning, and number 99 stayed in the game. And so now with nobody out, New Jersey's got the potential tying run in scoring position for Jordan Pepper. Bunt. Only play to first. The sacrifice is successful with Ziliani moving to third. Ball deadened nicely to make sure the catcher had to field it.
Number 7.
And there's one away.
Weiss.
So now Abby Weiss. Well, we showed you yesterday the Hello Kitty dress that hangs inside the New Jersey dugout every game this year that was worn by this girl, Abby Weiss, 5 years ago when she was just 7 and the younger sister of one of the star players from Robbinsville who played and won. There it is. and won the Little League Softball World Series. So little superstition. Her dad, the manager, Scott, makes sure that that Hello Kitty dress is on hand for every game. Nice job at third to freeze on the line drive. Ziliani able to get back to third. And Abby Weiss retired for the second out.
Number 11, Eva Alderelli.
Eva Alderelli getting her first opportunity as a pinch hitter. In there for Lily Ondi. And just like that, Alderelli is behind in the count, 0-2. Elizabeth Schuler trying to get the strikeout. Doesn't get the call. Must have missed up. And the count is 1-2. Big spot in this ball game. Can New Jersey get that tying run in? Strike 3 call. The answer to that question is no. Schuler with a big strikeout to end the fourth inning. Three runs on 6 hits and no errors for Pennsylvania. 2-5-0 for New Jersey in this second day of the Eastern Regional in Bristol, Connecticut. Doug Sherman with you here on ESPN+. Thanks so much for finding us. And the umpires and the Little League officials making sure all the substitutions are made. It was last inning. I get a kick out of it every year. The folks at Little League, to make sure that the mandatory play rules are followed, they make sure with a phone that they use up here in the press box, they call each dugout to update each coaching staff on where they are on getting everybody in. And here's the rule that we're talking about, mandatory play, contingent on the number of players the team has at the beginning of the game. So if you have 12 or fewer, the rules are a little bit different than 13 or more players on the roster, but the bottom line is everybody's got to get in and get at least one at bat, and then maybe some more if you've got fewer players. You got to get 6 outs defensively as well. So it's a coordinated effort between the Little League volunteers and officials, along with the coaches and managers, to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to play.
Elizabeth Schuler.
It's the top of the order for Pennsylvania. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Elizabeth Schuler, the leadoff hitter. She's 1 for 2 with a single and then was robbed of a base hit. Make it 2 for 3. Jumped down that first pitch and ripped it into left field.
Number 7,
She is aboard for the second time. Now the catcher, Lily Reedy. Lily singled and scored in the 3rd inning to spark that 2-out, 3-run rally. After Reedy's single, back-to-back-to-back RBI doubles. Snap throw by the catcher, Abby Weiss. Down to first base, not in time. Lily Reedy says she'd love to meet the Jonas Brothers. Big fan of the acting of Will Smith, and she's an Eagles fan who loves the quarterback Carson Wentz. Galucci got the out at first, and the double play. Outstanding infield defense once again, turned in by Robbinsville, New Jersey. Snap decision, and then a good turn by Haley Krebs at short. It's a 1-6-3 double play.
Number 14, Sage Lorson.
And now Sage Lorson, who ripped a double deep to left fielder last time to bring in the first run. She couldn't pull the trigger on that pitch and takes a strike. She was on that one, ripped it under the glove of the third baseman, Katie Ziliani. She takes a wide turn at first, but will hold up with a single. Sage Lorson with her second hit of the morning. And we're going to have a special pinch runner for Sage Lorson. That's Gianna Goodman, the starting second baseman, comes back in as a pinch runner.
Now batting number 3, Kendall Cardone.
Now the cleanup hitter, Kendall Cardone. Kendall has a big brother named Trey. He's 13, Kendall's 12. Making their parents Megan and Brian Cardone proud. And as with so many of the girls, the most fun thing about Little League for Kendall is getting to play with friends. Safe is the call. Goodman with the stolen base. But playing with friends and the opportunity to come here to Bristol and spend almost a full week with your friends and teammates as we get another look. Quick tag. Looked like the ball was dropped by Krebs. Indeed it was. The tag may have beaten Goodman. It was close, but when the shortstop dropped the ball, it made it an easy call for the umpire. But the chance to come here and spend 5-6 days, you have pizza every night, you get 3 meals fed to you, get to play high-level softball, and just have fun with your friends. Actually, Kendall also says the other part she likes, hitting bombs. That pitch gets away. Goodman moves up. That's a passed ball. And so that caught my attention when I saw that Kendall Cardone says one of her favorite things about playing softball is hitting bombs. I wonder if she might be this year's Big Al, who became famous last year. I hit dingers. Well, that's not a bomb. It's an RBI single to center field, scoring Gia Goodman, and Kendall Cardone makes it 4-2. Who needs to hit bombs or dingers when you can find a hole up the middle? That's all it takes to make it a 4-2 ball game.
23, Lena Clark.
Second RBI today for Kendall Cardone, and that brings up Lena Clark. She also had an RBI doubler last time, and she looks at a strike. Fly ball center. And that's the third out of the inning, but more damage done here in the top of the 5th. 4-2 our score, Pennsylvania up. Catch all the excitement from all of the 7 Little League World Series tournaments, including visitor information, scores, stats, video highlights, and more. Simply visit littleleague.org. And we're so pleased you found us here on ESPN Plus today as we watch Pennsylvania and New Jersey play in this softball regional in Bristol, Connecticut. And for the first time for New Jersey, we see Riley Mikolojak, who leads off the bottom half of the 5th inning. She takes the spot in the order of Madison Manning. Mikolojak from Hamilton, New Jersey, and again takes a pitch inside from Elizabeth Schuler. Third baseman Lena Clark way in on the grass. There's a called strike, 2-1. It'll be Mikolojak, and then back to the top of the order for New Jersey. Grounder right side. Goodman back into the game at second base. Fields it cleanly, 1 away.
Number 1, Caroline Walls.
So Caroline Walls will get her third opportunity. She singled and scored in the first inning. She's 1 for 2. Bouncing ball to third. Another chance for Clark. Throw is high. And a terrific job by Abby Lorson to get the tag on the base runner.
Number 17, Haley Krebs.
check that. That is Kendall Cordone, who has moved to first base. So give her the recognition for a nice play. Here's Krebs, 1 for 2 with a base hit. Now, Haley's older sister Shay played for the 2016 Robbinsville All-Stars. They played here in Connecticut. Younger sister Haley retired on the fly ball to center field. So a quick 1-2-3 inning once again for Schuler. What side? South side. Well, the gentleman holding that sign is Dean Kriebel, who scored over 1,500 points as a basketball star back in the late 80s and early 90s at Lock Haven University in Pennsylvania. Had a tryout with the Philadelphia 76ers and then played professionally overseas. Well, he is the father, the proud father of the young lady leading off the 6th inning, Lacey Kriebel, who we told you about her last time up, is inspired by her older brother, Andrew, an 18-year-old with special needs, and his medical care is so consuming that mom and dad, and there's mom, Amy, also herself, a star athlete back at Lock Haven, they aren't able to typically travel to follow Lacey playing softball because of the medical needs of their son. And so Lacey shared that if she were to ever win the lottery, she'd want that money to go to hire enough nurses full-time to be able to allow her parents to get a break in their health care. And so they were able to get enough health care for this week, and mom and dad able to make the trip from Pennsylvania here to Bristol, Connecticut, and proud mom, proud dad, hoping that their daughter, number 32 in blue, can come up with a base hit here in the 6th inning. Just like mom and dad, Lacey's a real good basketball player herself. Big fan of Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. She also loves North Carolina basketball. She says her favorite is Cameron Johnson, the young man who transferred from Pittsburgh. Had a couple of good years with the Tar Heels. Now with the Phoenix Suns. Mom and dad watching their daughter with a full count. Lacey's still looking for her first base hit of the day. Facing Sorella Gallucci, and she rips it to center field, but it is caught for the first out of the inning. Mom's reaction, yeah, daughter hit it good, just in the wrong spot. Darn. And I'm guessing they are watching and listening to ESPN Plus, so they know they're on television there. Here's Abby Lorson. 1 for 1. She singled her first time up. Grounder back to Gallucci, 2 away. And Gianna Goodman will get an opportunity. Big Red Sox fan, just like her dad. Dad, the manager, Corey, loves Mookie Betts and David Ortiz. Gianna follows suit, loves Big Papi. Says YouTube and Snapchat are her favorites, and her favorite movie, A League of Their Own. And don't let her size fool you. 4'9". She can play just like her dad could play. Her dad played at a high level growing up in Williamsport. He played in the 1997 Little League World Series baseball tournament. At the big league level, his daughter grounds out to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. New Jersey needs 2 to tie. The Robbinsville Renegades, the state champions from New Jersey, needs 2 runs to tie, 3 runs to win here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. But they're having to face a pitcher, Elizabeth Schuler, who after allowing 2 runs in the first inning has settled in very nicely. Since that first inning, she has allowed only 2 hits and no runs, but she is facing the meat of the order for New Jersey here in the 6th. It's Gallucci, Alvarado, and Ziliani, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Gallucci 1 for 2 in this game, 5 for 6 in the tournament. Ground to short. Sage Lawson across the diamond to her second cousin, Abby Lawson. And there's one away.
Number 22, Julissa Alvarado.
And now Julissa Alvarado. Big Mets fan. She loves Italian food. Favorite TV show, Riverdale. She rips a rope to right. Nice grab. Out in right field for the second out of the inning. That's Liliana Cox back in right. She tracked it. Beautiful angle from our camera out there to see her get a good jump off the bat.
Katie Ziliani.
So it comes down to Katie Ziliani. She's a perfect 2 for 2 today. An RBI single in the first, a double in the fourth. Sharply hit off the glove of the first baseman. And she is safely aboard with 2 out. And that will bring the potential tying run to the plate. Jordan Pepper is the scheduled batter after that infield single. Ziliani a perfect 3 for 3. And indeed it is Jordan Palmer. Or Jordan Pepper, excuse me. 0 for 1. She has a sacrifice bunt her last time. That'll be out of play. Now, Jordan's favorite softball player is 2-time Olympic gold medalist Crystal Bustos, who is a slugger extraordinaire. Slow ground ball to the right side. Goodman gets the final out, and in its first game here in Bristol, Pennsylvania picks up a 4-2 victory. Elizabeth Schuler, the winning pitcher, back after this to wrap things up. Pennsylvania's first game here this week at the Eastern Regional is a victory. 4-2 over New Jersey. They rally after giving up a couple of runs in the first inning. Elizabeth Schuler went the distance, a 6-hitter. She walked nobody, struck out 3 to earn the victory. And it was the big uprising in the top of the third inning, highlighted by back-to-back-to-back RBI triples by Sage Lawson, Kendall Cardone, and Lynna Clark. New Jersey drops to 1-1. Pennsylvania is in the books with a victory. We'll take a break from here in Bristol. Our next game scheduled to begin at 1 o'clock. Hope you can join us. So long for now.